Thanks for tuning in to Raising Bosses. I'm your host, Shauna J. Ray. Here on this podcast, we discuss changing our mindsets, growing a business while raising a family. If that's what you're interested in or currently doing, please stay tuned for what we have ahead. All right. Today I have Brittany Beaker with me, what's your title of Motherhood?
CEO, founder.
I love it. CEO and founder of the Motherhood brand. This is a beautiful clothing brand she started, and I'm here to interview her. I'm glad to be able to interview her on this. So you guys, she's going to introduce herself. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, Brittany, please, for the viewers.
So I am 34 and I am a mommy of two. And I have two children, and one is 2, my son is 2, and my daughter is 4. So I'm in the thick of toddlerhood, and motherhood is my 3rd baby. So my hands are always full at some point in time during the day. There's no rest. So when I'm not being a mommy, I am diving like full-fledged into my business.
Definitely, because it is picking up quickly. I love to see it. You've done so many great things with it. We're going to talk about it. You guys, make sure you guys join us on YouTube. I'm going to have this across everywhere. You already know. But can you explain? I kind of think I get it, but I want I want the CEO, the founder's explanation of the name Motherhood for your brand, because it's not motherhood.
Mother. Exactly. So motherhood came about, technically the name just came to me. So I had my son in the heart of the pandemic in May 2020. So everything was like locked down, and like the unknown of COVID was like looming around the country. So I at the time was working, and I knew that I was going to have to go back to work after having him. So after I had him, like the anxiety of going back to work kicked in, because after I had my daughter, I didn't go back to work. I stayed with her for the first year. So like the anxiety had kicked in, knowing that like I'm on like a ticking time. And I was like, I want to do something. I don't want to go back to work. I've always wanted to start my own business. I just don't know how or where or like what to even do, how to go about it. And then one day I was like sitting on my couch. I think I was like nursing my son, and I said, like, it would be cool to have like a little t-shirt, right? And I was like, it would be cool to start like a t-shirt company for moms, like with just little funny like mom things that like only moms would get. Like you could be walking through the mall or like at the supermarket, and like you see somebody wearing that shirt, and like, oh yeah, I get it. Like whatever, whether it be like um talking about like how tired moms are all the time, or like how you're like an octopus and you like have a million arms doing different things. So like I had like that idea to like come up with cute little slogans and put them on t-shirts, and then it would be called #MomGang. So
I love stuff like that.
yeah, so I had like come up with that idea, and it was Mom Gang originally, and then I started to like, dive in on Pinterest and like go look for inspo and just search the internet for like ideas and stuff. And so I started to like make a little Pinterest board and whatever. And then I was thinking about like, it's about to be official. I want to like put a stamp of approval, like I'm gonna do this. And then Mom Gang just didn't sit with me. I was like, it just sounds so like anybody and everybody can say Mom Gang. And then motherhood just came to me. I was like, motherhood, because we're in the hood, like it's ghetto. We're in the trenches.
It was coming. I knew it was coming.
we're in the trenches. It's ghetto. It's hard. It's rough. It's the streets. So I was like, if you
Crazy.
know, you know, like to be a mom and to be going through your motherhood journey, whatever season it is, we're living in the hood and it's the realest hood on earth. So
Yes, I love
motherhood
that part.
just spoke to me and I was like, yes, like motherhood from one mother to another, like we're all in motherhood, like living in the hood, whatever your hood looks like. It may not look like my hood, but we all know collectively we are in the hood and sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's we're in the trenches, but through and through motherhood.
That was so detailed and passionate. I loved it. Oh my gosh, because I never thought about it. I mean, I got it, but no, that was the perfect explanation. I love that. And I love how you incorporated Pinterest. I remember years ago, people don't take enough advantage of Pinterest, and the collective is a whole of creatives. Pinterest is the hub, and I love that you use
It
Pinterest. And
is.
I I tell people all the time, Pinterest is where it is, and there's ways to make money on Pinterest now. I haven't fully delved into that,
Now,
but
yeah.
yeah, I was on Pinterest for years, and I remember just
Like
hairstyles and nail
years
polish.
ago, yeah, like Pinterest has been popping for years, but now like the creators are monetizing it and it's blowing up like creator wise as far as being able to be lucrative off of Pinterest.
Yes. In many ways, I mean, you could post your stuff because I mean, you have a brand, so you could post your stuff, and then you could your short videos and your TikToks are amazing and
Yeah.
stuff like that does really well, like, on Pinterest. And that's another way, like, it's crazy. Like, this is what I like to talk about is like all these thousands of ways to make money. How long did it take
I-
you to put all of it together? Like, I know you said your son started and you're like, you kind of like, when you really got to that point of putting out your stock, like when you finally put your stamp of approval and now you had to make the brand, you had to put it out there.
So my son was born May 2020, and then I was supposed to go back to work July. So that's when like the juices were flowing was like that summer. Um, I didn't actually go back to work until August. And then when I went back
Good.
to work, I was like, yeah, this ain't it. Like, I don't want to be here. I miss my baby. I don't want to pump. Like, there was just so many factors and why I didn't want to be there. And then like while I was at work, I would like look up like different manufacturers and I would be on Pinterest and like building my like Pinterest inspo board and stuff. So that all happened in like August. And then my daughter's school shut down because of COVID. So I ended up having to leave work and stay with them for 2 weeks. I had to
Either
quarantine for
way.
2 weeks. And so I was like, you know what, this is the time that I'm gonna like dive into like more of hands-on, how am I gonna do this? And in that 2 weeks span, I decided, yeah, I'm gonna walk away from work and I'm gonna like go full throttle on this. So by then that was September. And then from September, I joined like this Instagram online course called Dare to Create Your Business Academy. So I
Love
did
that.
that and that was like an 8 week course. So I probably started that in like October. So that like got me where I needed to go to like actually push start because I had like all these ideas. I didn't know how to go about them or whatever. And then so um in November-ish, I probably went live with the Instagram page. Like I announced it to my personal followers, like, look guys, I'm starting a brand called Motherhood. Like go follow this page. And then um I didn't actually launch a first product until February 2021. So the idea came to me in
Wow.
July 2020 and then I physically officially launched February 2021. So our second birthday is coming up.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, that was quite the turnaround. She's like, I'm not
Hmm.
wasting a year. I've got this. We're doing this. I like that you
Oh,
did the course because a lot of people are funny about courses. And I've always talked about starting my own course and things like that, not even just for the money aspect. Like people are like, oh, people just want money, but it's because you're going to help people. I know people that have either been on my interviews like this, have listened to me on other platforms and other things, and they have gained knowledge and understanding for stuff. And so I'm like, well, if I have a course where I can sit down with people that want to start, want to do things, that's a lot easier, a lot, so finding that group. And is that the same group? I remember you like posting for a while, like you had your meetings and such.
Yes, yes.
I
That
remember
was
that.
that
And
one.
I was, yeah, that was good because I see y'all had like like a mastermind. Y'all all get on your Zoom call and
Yes.
everybody chime in. I love those. I absolutely love those. Even just as a collective, I saw a post the other day of getting together with your like entrepreneur friends and checking up on them, having your own friendship group mastermind.
Yes. Like a
Everybody's just having coffee together.
connection.
Yeah, everybody's just having coffee together. Like some people do that. I know some people do that in their bonnets and they have their bonnets and their tea with them and they do that on
Yeah.
Zoom. And I was like, I have to start something like that. I think that's the thing I want to start first. Is like, let's just all check in. Like, how's everybody doing? Like, what are you doing?
That
What are
is
you
a good
doing?
idea, especially if you don't have, like, I know for me, I don't have that many friends who are like an entrepreneur. Like I have a group of friends who are like they all dabble in their own things, but like my core friends, none of them are entrepreneurs until I met one friend recently, like a year plus ago, and her and I have become extremely close. And that's because we shared so many similarities. Like, we're both moms to young children who are building businesses from the ground up. And like, there were so
Literally.
many things that I could bounce off of her that I wasn't able to do with my other friends. Like, there were things that she would work on that I would be able to give ideas to. And I never had that with any of my other friends because they're not in this world that I have dived into.
So I'm gonna check that. If you got you said that's a good idea. So I'm definitely gonna check that on my
You
list of
should
things
do
I want to start.
that.
Even just as a because then I mean that's a way to like also, like you said, just feed each other, pour into each other's cups, like what girl, I got this idea. I know I came on here and with the crazy notebook lady. I don't even know if she's still doing that, but she was doing the Amazon notebooks. And
Uh-huh.
that was really awesome. I saw her grow on like TikTok and with her stuff. And she came on, she made tons of books. I love that idea. I still want to do it. And she was afraid to go live. And I was so confused because that's just my world is like, I've been going live for years and years and years. Like
Yeah.
before, like as soon as it came on YouTube and stuff, I was live. And I was like, what's the issue? Please just tell me the issue. And she was like, I don't know. I don't have a script. I was like, so make one, put your bulletin points down. I said, I've got my book right here
Yeah.
with you. Like, what is like live? I said one thing to her. And then she was like, oh my God, it broke my world. She was like, I was like, no one cares. No one cares if you make a
Right.
mistake. No one cares if you stumble, if you burp or whatever. I was like, I go live all the time. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. They're like, oh, you're
Right.
human. It's fine. Carry on.
It's
What's that product? Turn me
authentic.
in.
It's
It's
so
exactly
authentic.
that's another thing that people love, like that authenticity. That's why, just chilling, sitting down and, relaxing and talking is like a big thing for people. They can watch those videos, those live. People like that. People watch people sleep. I said people going live sleeping and they just be doing
Right.
exercise
I'm
or just
doing the
be cleaning.
most random stuff.
Literally. And those are the best videos and people love that stuff. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on that too. It's like I just started watching this one person on YouTube talk about stuff that I'm interested in. And I noticed that they're always changing their location around their home. But it's like you could tell one moment he's in a shed. You could tell one moment the person's in their office. The next moment they're
Yeah.
just standing in the middle of the street because they're like, you know what, I had to get this out. And everyone's watching and
Right. You're
nobody's like, oh
intrigued.
my God, like, why are you in the middle of it? So I always the authenticity is big because that's the stuff that does really, really well. So I'm assuming that when you did that mastermind, that course, I'm assuming is that where you learned like your promo and your marketing and things like that? Oh yes, let me get mine as well. Pink.
Uh, so that is where I learned, like, I like sharpened up a lot of those skills, but naturally, I just have like a good I've been told this from even before I started motherhood. I just have like a good sense of like how to use social media and how to market things on social media. So like it was something that I was already like it was just like a natural knack for me, but doing the course, I honed in on it and like got like actual techniques and like just like how to do certain things a little bit better or just like the psychology behind certain things, like certain things that I would do and it would just hit because I just naturally would it would come to me and I would do it. But then there was other things that I'm like, oh, okay, like I should implement this or I should tweak this a little bit and apply it here or stuff like that. But the course was I was just thinking about it today, I think. Like I am so excited and happy that I took that course. Like I honestly feel like I would have been like all over the place and not I probably, like you said, like the turnaround time was fast. To me, I felt like it took long, but I probably would have taken way longer had I not taken that course because I really didn't know where to start. I just had an idea and I didn't know how to go about it.
I'm glad you did, because that's another thing that people don't realize too, is a lot of people are into, not saying courses are the end all be all. This is the thing. It's not that courses are the end all be all of it, like you can't get started without a course, but like you said, it can refine you. It gives you more people to be around in that space. It gives somebody that's already done it that time to tell you, hey, start here, 1, 2, 3 from there. And a lot of times, I know
Exactly.
I've been there with a lot of different things. Yeah, it's a lot of different things I've been with that have, I feel scattered. I'm like, well, what do I do? And then it's like, okay, let me just outline it for myself. But when you have somebody else, like they've been there. So I'm a very person on YouTube Academy. So I'm in the YouTube
Yes.
Academy Academy myself to
YouTube
death with it.
University. Me too.
Yes, university, exactly. I'm going to YouTube all the everything, but then it's like some stuff can be scattered. Some stuff, you need that layout that way. It makes it a lot easier. And some people are scared of courses because you have people out here doing the most, but you have to be mindful of the courses and obviously picked a great one because you're still, happy about that one after the fact, and it brings value. So definitely, guys, look into your courses and understand like what they can bring. I mean, the course alone also, my next question is, what did you think would hold you back? And I would love to, understand like maybe the flow of that, what you thought, maybe it did, maybe it didn't, how you got over it.
Um, I feel like what I thought would hold me back was probably what people were gonna think of me or think of like what I'm doing or
It's a big
if
one for
this
most
is
people.
gonna work or whatever the case may be. Like I was really attached to other people's validation of what I was doing at one point in time. Um, but that is neither here nor there to me anymore. Like I'm doing it regardless. And the people will come, the people who are meant to come will come, and the people who are meant to go will go. So that was like one of my biggest things that was like I had to like separate myself from feeling like I was attached to what people thought about me and what I was doing and like what do you know about starting a business type thing like and how are you gonna build or run a successful business like you've never done this before and I was very self-conscious about it but we are doing it with or without anybody.
I love that. That was wow. I think that's a big one for 90% of people, to be honest with you. Not even just who I've spoken to. I've read a lot of books. I've had those things myself. And there is always at least one person going, or let you know
Right.
that they feel some type of way. But I've always told people, like I said about the lives, nobody really actually cares, and they're not that you can't let other people hold you back. Like imagine you sat back and you're like, I guess I should have listened to that one guy, that one troll on the internet. I shouldn't start this business because no one's ever done that before. So why should I try? Not like
Exactly.
I could figure it out. why would I bother?
Exactly.
And then you're sitting 2 years later going, I never started and so's doing better than me.
Right.
Did anything. And we've all been there in some way, in some
Exactly.
form. We all had a moment of, whatever, I should have done this sooner. And it's like, exactly, like we have to break that mindset because we're letting outside people come in and go, oh, because they're going to say it regardless. You can literally be successful. You can literally be in the thick of things. You can literally have your warehouse, your setup, your stores all over the country, and you're going to have somebody being like, oh, please. Oh, please.
Exactly.
She does,
Exactly.
she doesn't know what she's talking about. Oh, please.
Exactly.
What? 4 years?
Like,
Please. Like, so then you let that person hold you back. And then, and God forbid they be close to you. That's the worst. Um,
exactly.
Wait a minute. My next question. What did people tell you wouldn't work out? I can't. What?
So I remember after I officially launched in February 2021, like it was a successful launch. I sold out of everything. And then I never dawned on me that I wouldn't be able to do it again. So I had talked to a friend and he wasn't like hating on me or like a hater in any kind of way. As a matter of fact, he is like the opposite, like speaks life into me and is very
Beautiful.
positive and uplifting about what I'm doing or whatever. But he put things into perspective for me right after that launch and it never dawned on me. So he basically like told me like 90% of your followers, like your first launch is usually your most successful launch because 90% of the people who are buying from you are buying just to support you. They're
Support.
like the people who know you and the people who are like, okay, like she's doing this. Let me buy a t-shirt to support her because like I want to show her love. And it never dawned on me that like when I restock, like all of my friends and all of like my followers who I've been cool with for however long were just supporting me. It never dawned on me that when I restock, I have to actually sell to my target audience now. So when he told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, like how am I gonna do this again? Like I just sold out. Yes, I did, but you're very right. Like I sold out to a lot of people who were just supporting me launch. How am I actually going to maintain or build an actual customer base and an actual audience? And I was like, so I remember it like hit me like a ton of bricks, like, oh my gosh, like can I actually do this? Can I do this?
Yes. Obviously, yes. Well, now I completely agree with it. I see what you're saying about that because I always say this about people like that. Are they giving you constructive criticism at the end of it? Like, because he could have just been like, but that's just people that, care about, like, those are only those people. You're not going to sell out anymore from that. Like, he could have just stopped there and been like, it's not going to work
Yeah.
now. So then just give up. And that's how a lot of people are. Like, they say the one thing that's not like, there is no helping you, there's nothing else, whatever. But then there are people that'll actually give you something to go on, like, okay, now it gets your cogs turning. You get your cogs turning on, what do I do next? Okay, now I need to broaden myself in this form. Like, okay, you already started properly and things like that. So those are the type of people, some people can be a little bit more, how do I put it? They
Negative
can mean
Nancy
well,
about
but
it.
I mean more negative, but they mean the same. They mean the exact same. Like they
Yeah.
just want your cogs turning, but they're like one about it. Like, hey, it's not gonna work past this if you don't do something. But you're like,
Like
dang,
it
yeah, I
comes
gotta
out
do
like
something else.
pessimistic.
Yeah, but they really do mean well because, like you said, even if he
Yeah.
didn't mean well, you obviously have this person like, okay, he meant well. He obviously had the cogs turning. But even if he didn't, it should have, as you said before, you don't care about people's opinion. It should have, you have to be that tough skin because you have to be like, well, he's not wrong. Now that's got my cogs turning. Get out of my life, but thank you.
Exactly. Exactly. Set the boundary and then like, okay, now I gotta keep working.
I got to keep pushing. Okay, so that was great. I love to hear about it. Are there any other challenges that you happen to face in the middle of what you were getting together? Any other challenges that you actually did face, that actually did happen?
In the beginning,
Just in general, just in this last 2 years, any challenges that you faced, or yeah, getting started, but in the beginning, getting started at first when you did start.
um, my biggest challenge, I have two challenges. So, my biggest challenge, one is like internal and like it's my own problem. And it's like that whole imposter
Syndrome.
syndrome and like, can I actually do this? Is this actually gonna go anywhere? Is this actually even a good idea? Where am I going with this? Whatever. And then on the flip side to that, sometimes why those like feelings and intrusive thoughts come in is because I know, especially like in the beginning, my challenge was like the algorithm. Like, and I
Uh-huh.
was only showing up on Instagram and I had like a small email community, but Instagram was my main platform. That was like the bread and butter. That's where I'm promoting everything. That's where I'm relying on people to come see or whatever. So
See
my
that,
biggest
yeah.
challenge was the algorithm. Like I would put so much, or what I felt like I would put like a good amount of effort into my content, and whether or not people were actually seeing it was very discouraging. Like sometimes it would hit and sometimes it wouldn't. And I'm like, I
Social media
wish
for you.
the algorithm would just favor me. So
I
that
love that
was
you
one of my biggest challenges. But
I love oh sorry.
no, go ahead.
I love that you said the imposter syndrome because a lot of people probably don't know what that is. I need to do. I think I did. I know I did a blog post about it. I need to do a um, podcast as well about it. But imposter syndrome is basically the insider voice instead of the other person telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's literally in your head. It's the worst thing ever because even when you're doing well, it's still going, but it's still in your head. It gets
Exactly.
quieter. It gets, further away, but it's still there. And it's like a lot of people don't realize that's what that is. And it's like, then you go out of your way and then somebody else, hits you and you're like, oh God, like the friend, that could have hit you in a different way with the imposter syndrome. He could have been like, I guess never mind. Even though he was
Exactly.
meaning it well. He could have sat you down and been like, see, I don't want this to happen. So let's do this, this, and this. And you're like, you know what, never mind, give up.
Yeah.
That's a big one. And the algorithm, it goes back to the authenticity thing I was talking about because I deal with it all the time. I cannot stand. And then Instagram is like the most random. I mean, that's TikTok too. The most random thing will go viral or, get thousands of views. And
Literally.
you're just like, okay. Like I have one video that till this day is racking up. People see that all the time. And then it's like my other videos, 100 views, 300 views,
Right. And like
thousand
it's
views.
the ones that
Yay.
like you want, that it's the ones that you want to pop off that don't pop off, and the most random ones that like I didn't even do anything to for that to even go where it went, and I'm mad that that's the one that everybody's seeing.
Everybody's seeing that one, and it's like depending
So
on where you
annoying.
are and how you get seen on there doesn't make sales, doesn't make followers, doesn't, and it's like, okay, this is going viral but no sales, no followers, that's not even a video about sales. It's like really stressful. And it's like the one thing it is, I noticed in your TikTok, I don't remember how much you had before, but it was like you had just gotten on TikTok maybe, or just really started posting on there. And now you have like times 10. I'm pretty sure it was like when I saw you, it was like 3,000 when I first saw, maybe it was under that when I first noticed it. And I was like, oh man, she's
Yeah.
going in. And you started posting. Now I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And the authenticity
Thank
thing that we
you.
talked about, you're welcome. We're always talking about that's what you have to kind of get on these platforms and do. You have to just post, and then basically the same thing you did, get a course, find out what, is there something I could be doing better? There's people on those platforms that tell you how to work with those platforms. There's people on YouTube, TikTok, anything. We have all these ways to learn. There is no reason why we can't try and play around with it. I do that till this day, and like, it still happens. It still happens, and something else changes, and then the algorithm is like, nope, this doesn't work anymore. We don't like that. We don't want any of that. So you have to just
Mm-hmm.
keep up, don't let that stop you. That's just literally telling you, don't let it stop you. um do you have like a sort of list of how you grow or have grown your audience? I know we are talking about social media videos and things like that, but do you have like, or if you want to just like kind of detail them, like you did say something about an email list and things like that, like little pinpoints, doesn't have to be anything extreme.
When I first, okay, I, so we're about to be 2 years old. So for the first year, the entire first year, I was only on Instagram. And with that, I would try and remain authentic because one, nobody wants to be sold to all the time. So I'm not just trying to like sell things. On top of the fact that Motherhood, yes, it's a clothing collection, but more than that, it's a community to me. Like we're like really all moms going through this together, and it's like an unspoken bond that we share. So it's far beyond just the clothes. So like I will wanted to like sometimes always circle back to just the like heartfelt depth of motherhood, and I would like share some of my like struggles or like where I was emotionally when motherhood first came about, just to like keep that very authentic vibe of like you're a mom talking to other moms. So I would build connection, which is how I would get followers, was through connecting as opposed to through like, oh, follow us, click link in bio type thing. Like it was more so like I would say something very heartfelt, like tag another mom who can relate to this or
That's a
who
good one.
will be uplifted by this or something like that. So
I got to
as
go
far as
back to that. That's
Instagram goes,
true.
the first year, yeah, it was a lot of like I'm trying to connect and connect with a certain audience. So that was the aspect I took on Instagram, and then exactly a year later I decided to like take TikTok seriously. And with TikTok I didn't know what I was doing. With Instagram I like have a good grasp on Instagram. I know I just have a good understanding of Instagram. TikTok, I didn't know
That was
what I
all.
was doing. It's a
TikTok was different.
complete new, yeah, new platform. It was like overwhelming. What audios do I use? Where do I go? Like, I didn't, like, how do I see, how are people gonna see me? Like, how do I show up on your For You page or whatever? So I literally didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, I'm just gonna be consistent until something pops. And that's all I did was I would just committed to being consistent and putting out content on TikTok. And then it just became fluid to me. Like I was like, okay, this is like second nature. And then I started gain a following and started to the same thing, like connect with other moms, but in a different way. Like Instagram is obviously way more aesthetic and like it's about like how pretty your posts are, and TikTok, like I use it in the sense of like, no, this is real life. Like we're in the trenches. We're all my other moms who are like their kids have them in a chokehold right now, and it's like a little bit more like raw as opposed to like Instagram is authentic, but it's not like the nitty gritty.
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's that authenticity thing we're talking about. I mean, it's still that way on Instagram, but you have your like your stories and stuff to kind of be like da 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 or post a certain way. But TikTok is like that's where the people do the best is just post. Like I'm getting back into that. Like I would post here and there, and like I'm not a big. I don't know why I don't just sit down and talk. And I like started to like be like that's like the one thing you don't do. Like people don't know your voice, and oh my god, the doggone AI voice is on there. Sorry, that's neither here nor there.
I know,
They're like,
but you would be good with that because you who does like you do like your own hair or you do like your kids' hair stuff like that is like the time to talk. Like literally just
and I
talk to your
never,
audience like, all right guys, so I'm doing my hair today and today we're gonna put in some box braids and you literally just talk to them and
I
like
did so
there's
much
so
of
many
those.
videos that I think you should continue. Like
I will.
I
You
catch
said
myself
so.
watching those, especially like on TikTok. Like if I'm like scrolling through my For You page and I see like a girl like just pop up and she'll like have a pack of hair. She's like, all right, guys, so today we're gonna put in some bohemian locks. I'm like, oh, let me see how it comes out. Like I'm invested. Like let me sit through this video and watch her process and watch how it comes out and see how long it took her, whatever. So you should start doing stuff like that. And the whole time she's just like,
I
you're like talking to your girlfriends, like just talking.
oh yeah, see that's what I mean. Like it's not even like it's not even like an awkward thing because this is what I do. I talk in a little bit of a, but it's like I guess I think one thing that it was bothering me, it's like people want quick form, and they want long form, and they want, and it's like my long form doesn't do as well, and I'm just like I just am always like so I can't talk, but I like sat here and I think it was when I was cutting my hair, I did like a little clip and I did something else. I just haven't edited it because it's long form, but like not long form, but like exactly. It's like a little bit of me talking and oh da, 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 like that.
Yeah,
But I'm like,
yeah.
I'm definitely gonna make sure I post those because you're totally right. I love the back and forth. You're totally right. I need to get back to that and keep it up because people love that. Like you sitting there, sitting in the car. Like I never did those videos. Like, why do I not do those? I'm never just sitting there talking, but I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna get back to it. Um, so as an
You should.
entrepreneur, one thing, there is more freedom in one sense because you kind of make your schedule, but what freedoms do you enjoy? Just your own like things, everybody's is different, but your own little freedoms and like energy things that you do now because you're an entrepreneur.
What I love about being an entrepreneur and whenever I'm not, it's like, damn, I miss that. Is being able to work out in the morning.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it's
yes.
being like one, I'm a morning workout person. So if it doesn't happen in the morning, 90% positive it's not gonna happen at all. So it's either morning or not. And then like I just love how that like sets the tone for my day, especially for me, working out is more than just like, oh, I'm trying to look good. Like a lot of it is like personal development. Like I
Good.
like will like talk myself through things that like will collaborate in other aspects of my life. Like if I'm running, I'm like, don't quit. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other until you reach your destination. And I'm like telling myself these things, but they apply in other areas of my life. So
Affirmation
like
as much?
when yeah, right. So working out is like my the one thing that I really enjoy about having the freedom of creating my own schedule because if I can't work out in the morning after I drop my kids off, then I probably won't do it. And if I'm working a regular job, like when I used to work, it was like impossible. I would have to work out, I would have to wake up at like 5 and that would mean
Mhm.
that
Nothing's
they
wrong with
actually
that,
have
but
to I know, but um I'm on my own, so I would have to work out in my house or in my living room, and then I would have to wake
the
up at
gym.
5, which would therefore mean that hopefully they sleep through the night because one of them always wakes up and bothers me,
They're
and either or
little.
she has to wake up to go to the bathroom, or he is waking up just looking for mommy or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
my sleep is interrupted. So by the time I've been woken up at one
Mm-hmm.
o'clock in the morning, and then again at 3 o'clock in the morning, when 5 o'clock comes around, I'm like, I don't have it in me. Don't have it in
I don't want to do this.
me.
I
So
know exactly what you mean on that one. I mean, that's
that's
actually
my
really nice that, that's self-care in a different form people don't think about. So your self-care is a lot more, because even if you did wake up at 5 in the morning, like I wasn't saying you have to or that's good to do it, just saying like there's nothing wrong with that in the aspect of getting your day started, but having to
Mhm.
because of the scheduling that factors in afterwards is very stressful.
Exactly.
That is super, and
Exactly.
that gives
There's a
people something
difference
to
between
kind of
choice and
choice. I
having
love
to
that.
do it.
And that's also good too, because you kind of get, you get to explain to people like you can work towards this. That's, something like you said, I love working out. I love working out. I'll spend all day in the gym if you let me. Like I love working out. So like having that gym
And you look
time, being able to
good.
go when I want to, thank you, moving around, doing stuff and having that time to be able to go big for me too. And it's like self-care in general. Sometimes it's not always there, but like you said, you can get your day started a lot better that way.
Hmm.
Um, what are some other ways that you use to manage with the little ones? Because you have really little ones. You have really little
Um,
ones.
I basically just have to use my time wisely. So when I'm not with them, like when they're in preschool, that's my shift. So like when I go to pick them up, I'll always be like, all right, it's time for me to clock into my second shift because taking off my hat and putting back on my mommy hat. So I just have to be very intentional about the times that I'm not with them. So I use it wisely and productively.
That is important. That's what I
Because
tell
yes, when
everybody.
they're around, they're little, they're very needy.
Yeah, and they don't know anything else because that's how they have to be right now. And I always try to tell people like
Exactly.
try to move your time around because it's not always easy. Not saying it's easy, I'm not saying any of that, but it is something that it's like, okay, today, and also don't be afraid if today didn't work out, but you put some effort in. Like you're like, okay, I uploaded a
Exactly.
picture, or video, whatever, but tomorrow, I'll make sure that branch of time and we'll move it around and things like that. But that's all you can really do. I did have a question about the
Hmm.
manufacturers. Any tips and tricks? Because I've never spoken to someone that actually did the back end of the manufacturers. I see people do it all the time, but anything you can share about the manufacturers, tips, tricks, happy, sadness. Let's say I heard you were switching over.
Um, so when sh if you're doing like a product-based business, as far as like manufacturers go, a lot of times they're gonna like they want the sale, so they're gonna like try and hone you in and be like, all right, well, like if you order however many items today, like we'll give you like 10% off shipping or whatever the case may be. Like they want you to stick with them, but always, 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 always start with a sample. Like no matter how good of a deal they promise you, or no matter how much they talk up their work or talk up their accolades and whatever they sell, always get a sample first one because you actually want to see the quality of what you're going to be selling your audience. So you want to see it, feel it, touch it, um, see like, is this good enough for my standards and my audience, or should I shop around? Should I get another sample from elsewhere, or whatever the case may be? So I think it's imperative to start with a sample, and then from there, if it's a match, then go for it and keep like keep a good relationship with your manufacturers. Like if it's a good match and you like what they send you, like stay in touch with them, and they'll like give you if they see that you're loyal and you keep coming back, that'll work in your favor as well. So, um, always get a sample and make sure that manufacturer is the right match for you, because if you order before you get that sample and God forbid that bulk shipment comes and you don't like it, that's on you.
You can send it back because it's custom at that point, right?
Right. At
If
that
you want to
point,
make it.
no. And then the shipping alone is like, oof, crazy.
Sorry. Yeah, the shipping and everything, because you're getting it. I know I don't know. Have you ever done pre-sales on anything? I just started learning about that.
I did, I
You have
did
to know, of
recently,
course,
I
that you like the
actually,
sample.
yeah, I wanted to, the jogger set that I released last year, I wanted to do it based off of pre-sales. But I ended up just launching and then selling it that way. But the hoodie that I just dropped, whenever that was, a
Hmm.
month ago, a month and a half ago, I started that with pre-sales. One, because I didn't know which color I wanted, so I got samples, going back to samples. I got two samples of two different color hoodies, a cream color and a coffee color. So then I was like, all right, let me take the audience on the journey with me. Like, which one do I want? And they voted that they liked both. So I was like, all right, if you guys like both, let's start. Like, they're
And A/B
available
testing.
now. Yeah. And it was really good. Like from I sold I sold out of one color just in pre-sales. So I encourage,
Wow.
if you market yourself correctly, pre-sales could definitely do good.
I always was confused. Why did people do pre-sales? And then I started learning about it and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense, especially launching new products. Like you were saying, like I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
pick out the color, maybe a font or something. And they're like, no, I want this one. And, going from there, I didn't know that, there was different things behind it. And I know about the testing and everything. That's really smart. That's really, really smart. I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that you've given like some amazing information. What, this last question, what are some of the things that keep you going in all of this? You know, your
Um,
inputs.
One, I'm just really on the grand scheme of it, like if it like I really don't have a conventional and traditional mindset. So I am very like I have such an entrepreneurial spirit or whatever. So that in itself keeps me going because I don't want to work for anybody. But in the sense of motherhood and that being my third baby and my business, what keeps me going is I genuinely have a real passion for the motherhood community, not motherhood, the motherhood community. Like I just really adore moms and like I just love it. I love that for us. I love that we are so magical and just chosen. And I love like admiring another mom from afar, like seeing her in whatever stage of motherhood she's in Target or wherever. I just feel such a connection to moms, one being a mom, but two, like I just have such a newfound respect for mothers since becoming one. I just really am very passionate about the motherhood community, and that in itself keeps me going.
That's beautiful. I love that. Again, so passionate, so detailed. I love that. Well, is there
Thank
anything else you
you.
wanted to say, Brittany, just to add anything else to, anything just pertaining to all of this, any good word or any?
Um, One, if you are a mom and you're watching this, please remember that you matter and like you're a person and a human before you're a mom and before you became a mom. you were a person and a human. So try and remember that and prioritize yourself, because it is impossible to pour from an empty cup. And naturally, as mothers, we tend to put ourselves on the back burner, not realizing that really truly does affect how we show up for our children and our family. So if you're a mommy listening to this, remember that you matter, and please prioritize yourself and find little ways to make yourself feel good, because you deserve to. And then for all of my business baddies, if you have an idea, don't sleep on it. Do not sleep on it. Chase it, run with it, especially if it's something that keeps revisiting you. Hone in on it and trust the process. It's not gonna be a linear journey. It's not going to be, no 2 days are gonna look the same, no 2 months are gonna look the same, but trust the process, hold the vision, and trust the process. And don't let nobody creep up in your ear. Don't let yourself creep up in your ear. Just trust the process. It's gonna get messy, but stay the course.
Awesome.
And
Awesome. I
that's
love to
what
hear
I
it,
have to
Brittany. Thank
say.
you for this chat. This was awesome. Hopefully you guys love
Thank
what you heard. Hopefully you guys
you.
can get inspired. Of course. Also, all of her socials and everything will be in the description, in the show notes. You guys, make sure you guys are sharing this podcast so your other friends can hear it. I really appreciate you guys being on here. Until next time. Thank you for listening to the Raising Bosses podcast. I hope you enjoyed, and please tell your friends and family. Go ahead and share this podcast on social media. If you or someone you know would like to be a part of this podcast, please email us at raisingbosses@gmail.com, or you could DM us on all our social medias, are Raising Bosses on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you and goodbye.